Welcome back to the Quilted Gardener. I'm starting this video all over because I've been talking for 15 minutes and never hit record. Nice. So this is Seed Starting 101. Remember to hit the subscribe button, the like button, share button, all that good stuff. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. And I will answer you back as soon as I can because I do get notifications that someone's left me a question or a comment. We are at just under 400 members now. Or subscribers, or whatever you want to call them. So, back to the beginning of this video, which is Seed Starting 101. First thing you're going to need, like I said before, is a vessel. So you can use, 4-inch cups, drinking cups, or you can buy the pack. I think they call it a greenhouse pack or something like that, which has all the components that you need, which is the tray, which doesn't have holes in it. There's a reason for that. It's to hold the water for when you bottom water. And then it has the seed pack and then the humidity dome. Humidity domes, some people don't like them, some people do. I like them personally because it just kind of gives your plants a little better start. So that's what the vessel is. And then we're gonna go into what you need to start your seeds, which is the seed starting mix. Do not use dirt from your yard, please. Don't use just plain potting soil. Don't use garden soil in a bag. Those are all too heavy for seeds to germinate in inside. Now, if you have seeds that are good to direct seed outside, that's a different story. And you can cover them with a little bit of potting soil to the depth that they need to be. And then water them good with a watering can. But starting seeds inside and that type of medium it's too heavy. And if you bring dirt in from outside, you're going to bring in bacteria and fungus and mold, bug eggs, etc. So, and even with, the seed starting mix, you have to wet that before you use it. So use boiling water. I know a lot of you aren't going to be mixing it like I do. I mix it in big, huge, 20, 30 gallon storage totes. So, and I buy the big blocks of coir. This is a 10-pound block here. And it's, it's coconut, ground up coconut that they've compressed. And when you add the water to it, it expands back out. And I buy the blocks because I start a lot of seeds, but you can get them in bricks. I've heard you can get them at the big box stores. I've never seen it. I have seen it in bags. I've never bought it because it's just not efficient. That 10-pound block makes 20 plus quarts. Maybe a little more. But I think I pay $19 for it, to whereas a bag at the store is just a couple quarts and it's $9. So it's up to you, and it also depends on how many seeds you're going to start. A typical starter tray is 72 cells, and those will do well for you if you're doing the exact 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost stage. They'll be good for your plants to stay into until you put them out. Other than tomatoes and peppers, those two have to be potted up no matter what. Because you want a really good root base on those before you put them in the ground. So, here's my hyssop. I showed it in my last video. This was done with all coir, but this stuff is, hyssop is easy to grow. And like I said in my last video, this is ready to be pinched out. It's getting potted up today at some point. But the thing with the coir, I don't know if you can see it, it got a little green, and then there's that little area there that nothing came up, which was, I probably may not have put seeds in there, I don't know. So for flowers, I use the coir for my vegetables. For flowers, I use a 50-50 mix of a compost mix and the coir. And the reason I do that is the seeds seem to germinate better when I use the 50-50 mix, and I get a sturdier plant from it. And I use the Pro Mix by Miracle-Gro. I buy the 38-pound bale which is compressed. And they do make a 19 one that the store didn't have them. But I paid $15 for 38 pounds. And I can't see that far. It's several quarts, more like gallons. I think it's 10 gallons worth once it's expanded. And I just mix them together. There's the dirt. It has vermiculite and perlite, some other nutrients in there, compost. I have been picking pieces of wood and stick out of this one. And this one I'm having to add in a little at a time because those were stored outside at the garden center, and the center of it's frozen, so I'm waiting for it to thaw out a little bit more. But I've been, filling up my 4-inch pots. Those are specifically for daisies. Like I have some cabbage to start. That will be in the little Dumahickets here, because I have the other, see if I can reach them. These are 4-packs instead of 6-packs. Same concept. My brother-in-law gave me these. Is the only reason I have them. I will be ordering the reusables, even though you can reuse these from the store or the nursery or whatever. They are very flimsy, and they're hard to get your plant out with. You need to squeeze and push and all this other stuff. The heavier ones that are meant to be reused have a hole in the bottom of them, and you just use a poker, something like this, and you just poke in the bottom of it, and it pops the whole plug out. But like, I'm not doing a ton of cabbage this year. Edible cabbage. I do have decorative cabbage already out in the greenhouse. So I will be starting the cabbage in this. I will do my zucchinis and things like that in these as well, because I'm not planting that many of them. God knows I had enough zucchini last year. I may do some more beefsteak tomatoes, not sure. The first round, I didn't have a great germination rate. So, starting the seeds, like I said, you need your vessel, and then fill up your little container, and then use your thumb and push down in there. Get it compacted, but not, so hard you can't put anything else in there. Top it off some more. I normally do this with both my thumbs, but obviously I'm holding this. I usually have this sitting down. And make a nice little well. Also, read your seed packet. See how deep you need to plant. Make sure this is very, very moist. Not dripping, but moist. A good saturation, I guess, is the best word, because you're not gonna water these from the top for a few days, maybe about a week. And so the reason I'm saying make sure this is very moist is because obviously your seeds need moisture to germinate, because you're going to put your seed in here. For like tomatoes, it's a 1/4 inch. This is marked. I got these with something else I purchased. So I just, poked the hole down to a 1/4 inch, and I marked it on here, but it's actually made on here. I don't think this side does, but this is for like when you take the tomato plant out and you need to make, a good deep hole, that's wider at the top than what it is at the base, because the deeper you plant your tomato seedlings, the stronger they'll be because they produce bigger roots. So you technically can, start your seeds in these, and then you can up pot to this. Once they get their first set of true leaves, you can up pot in this 1 seed per cell, or 1 seedling per cell, and let them grow until you get a really good root base, in which you'll see them down here. And then once they're, this little thing is full with your tomato plant and ready to be up potted, that's when you go to a 4-inch pot. Last year I started mine way too early. I ended up having to go into 6-inch pots before they could go outside. So I don't want to do that again this year. So, but 2 seeds, cross from each other, 1, 2, and however deep, like I have some flower seeds here that are only a 1/16 of an inch. Basically, I'm just gonna dust some dirt over the top of them. Majority of them are, 1/4 inch, some are 1/16, some are an 1/8. And we all know, half of a quarter is an 1/8. So, but 2 seeds. The reason you put 2 seeds in there is if one doesn't germinate. Or if they both germinate, one's gonna be healthier than the other, so you can pluck that icky one out and keep your good one. If they're both good, then you have 2 plants. And it's always good to have extra plants because you can give them to friends, family, whatever. So once you put your seed in, you're just gonna cover it back up. You don't have to add more soil to it. Just, lightly bring your soil, I guess I should raise this, lightly bring your soil back over and use your finger this time and pat it in place. Once you get the whole thing potted up, then put it in your seed tray, and how many ever you're doing, for the packing, this is what should happen. This isn't super wet because the plants that I'm doing next all get sprayed with water. So, but it needs to hold together, but you don't want that. And I squeeze that super hard. So you don't want to wring water out of your soil, which I'm getting ready to add more dry to this to soak up that extra soil. So, just put your soil over your seeds, put them in your vessel, which you can use pretty much anything. You don't have to go out and buy trays and stuff like that. The egg cartons that are that paper mache stuff are the same exact thing as the ones you get in the store that end up molding. You plant the whole thing down in the ground. I don't use them for the fact that they do mold. So you don't have to spend a ton of money. You do need a good potting soil seed starter, and I say potting soil seed starter because it's going in a pot. And it's made by Burpee, Miracle-Gro. There's a few other companies that make it. So that's seed starting 101. Once you get it into your vessel, put some water in the bottom and let it soak up into your container. You don't want to water from the top because you're going to make your seeds go somewhere that you don't want them to be. I did that accidentally with some lavender and thought about it after the fact. And I had lavender seeds like halfway down in the cup that germinated. They're still alive, believe it or not. They're trying to come up to the top. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's why you don't water from the top. It shifts your seeds. And you don't want to do that. You want them to stay where you put them. And, if you're just putting 3 or 4 tomato seeds in, because you don't want that many tomatoes, put them all in 1 cup, or a bowl, or a yogurt container. You don't have to have a humidity dome for that. Just leave a 1/2 inch space from the top and throw some saran wrap over it. Don't poke holes in it. Throw a rubber band around the top. Keep an eye on it. Make sure it's watered and moist. And once the seeds emerge, remove the saran wrap because otherwise you'll end up getting fungus and bugs and bleh that you don't want. So that's seed starting 101. For those of you who asked me how I do it, that's the easiest way. I don't think you really need to go anywhere in depth than that. So, you can put them on the windowsill, but the best place if you're not starting a lot is the top of your refrigerator. Heat rises, and then of course your refrigerator generates heat, and your plants will germinate faster. Once you get germination, then they need to go under a grow light, not in the window, because you're going to end up with leggy plants. Leggy plants can be fixed, but they tend to be sickly and not produce well as they grow older. So you want to get them under a light of some sort, preferably an LED light because it doesn't put heat off, because you don't want to burn your plants either. And when you first put your light on, like this is the top of your seeds here, you want your light about right here. And then as they grow, you slowly raise it up until they get at least 3 sets of leaves on them, or you've done your first up pot. And then you can take the light off. They don't have to have them anymore. But for tomato plants, once they emerge, leaving the light on them for 3 days, 24 hours straight, 72 hours total, will give you much healthier plants, just so you know. Anything else, you can leave the light on for 16 hours, turn it off at night for 8 hours. It's best to use a timer so you don't have to remember it, but you know, in my greenhouse, I leave mine on because I have different things growing at the same time. It doesn't hurt your plants to leave them on, but you know, they get daytime sun, but the lights are still on because they need direct sunlight. And because I have shelves, the light's not coming directly down on them, it's coming from this direction. So I have light going directly down on them. So that is Seed Starting 101. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them. If not, I'll direct you to where you can get the answers. I'm about to do some serious seed planting, germinating, transplanting, that good stuff for the rest of the day, and get some stuff out to the greenhouse. So y'all have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Tell your friends. Come hang out with me. I may do, just run my camera while I am up potting. Well, actually, I'm going to do a video on up potting. So yeah, my camera will be on. So see you next time. Ciao.